Tonight on The Big Idea, million-dollar ideas so simple you'll want to stand up and shout, "Why didn't I think of that?" The man who made a Knork. It's a "why didn't I think of that" idea 100,000 years in the making that lets you eat dinner in a whole new way. Cardboard and...
Welcome back to The Big Idea. Okay, tonight we have a show full of those ideas that drive you crazy. Of course, you say, why did I not think of that? Ideas that are so simple they hurt. My next guest took a really long look at the way people eat and came up with a potentially revolutionary product that's already making millions. Mike Miller, welcome to The Big Idea, man.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Guys, you got to watch at home for this one because everybody, when Mike shows you his product in a couple of minutes, every one of you has been doing something while you've been eating and with the utensils that you just, all of a sudden, a little twist, and you go, yes, this is the way I really eat, and there's never been a product that way. So let's pick up the story. You're in 8th grade, which also is another theme for tonight. A lot of people come up with these ideas earlier in their life and never do anything.
Sure.
You're out with friends eating pizza after you had a basketball game, and now you're all dressed nice, going out. Pick it up.
I'm with mixed company, guys and girls dressed up. I get a pizza, and I'm thinking, do I want to pick it up, take the chance of spilling this stuff on myself, or should I use a regular fork? So I pick up the fork lying next to me, try to cut it, and I notice it's just, it's just kind of tough. It's like you're cutting cardboard.
So you're taking a fork and a fork and a knife, or
just a fork by itself?
Just a fork. You're trying to do that thing that people do, trying to cut it with a fork.
Yeah, right. I had to go up and get a knife. I wanted one. Otherwise, I had one rolled up fork. That's all I had. So I started cutting with it. Noticed I had a big indentation on my finger.
First of all, man, let me give you some advice going back. You can get your food on. Don't be trying so hard with these girls. You can add a little pizza sauce on it. But at the time, then you want to make sure you're okay.
I think it was a new shirt, too.
Yeah, okay. There we go. That's better. Okay.
So anyway, I was trying to pick up...
No men have pizza sauce on their shirts. Right.
True. So I got this fork. I picked it up, started cutting it. Didn't really work. And I thought, man, there's got to be a better way. So I looked in the back, saw the guys making the pizza, how they're using this rocking motion type thing to cut through the pizza. I'm like, if I can just come up with a way to put that on my fork, that I can cut through the pizza like that.
What do you mean put on your fork?
Just like a rounded edge around the side. Nothing sharp, nothing serrated, but on the side of the fork. Most forks, if you look, they're flat on the bottom. So when you're trying to cut them, it's just you're smashing. So I came up with like a seesaw motion.
So your idea was, okay, because we've all done this, guys. When you're sitting there, you're too lazy to get up and get a knife, or you don't have a knife in front of you, and you're eating that piece of chicken cutlet or something, and you're cutting it with the fork, and you're trying to use the fork as a knife. Okay.
Correct.
And basically your solution
was to make a more comfortable fork, so putting a rounded edge on the bottom of it and a finger platform. And now that's what's important too, is because it's wider right where you put your finger.
Guys, I want to introduce, we're going to hold this up, the Knork. This is, once again, this is about, out of all the ideas tonight, why didn't I think, okay, it looks like a fork, right? All this is basically, this is a little wider here, so you can really effectively use the fork as a knife, and it becomes a knife.
Correct. And all you have to do actually is rock it. You don't even have to saw. There's no serration, so if you just seesaw it up and down, teeter-totter, it will cut right through that. Steak, chickens, pork chops with our metal ones, you can cut it all with one utensil.
There it is. Look at this thing, man. This is the Knork. This is the million-dollar idea, guys. You can do it at home. Think about it. How many people have taken, I feel like I'm sounding like the Ginsu knife here. How many people have taken do that, and you just came up with this thing?
Yep.
I love it. How'd you turn it into a real product?
I actually was I was in biology pre-med, so I took a kind of twist. I had 3 years underneath me.
You were pre-med and you left. Your parents must be very proud of you.
Oh,
Mom,
yeah.
Dad, thanks for all those thousands of dollars. I'm going to launch the Knork.
Well, my grandpa was a doctor, my dad was a doctor, so I had the 3 generations of doctors, and I thought, I really like that, but I had all sorts of school already, and I had another 4 years of medical school, then residency and this. I thought, what? I've had this idea since I was in 8th grade, and I've done nothing with it. So I went out and borrowed $10,000 from my grandfather, and I was like, okay, hopefully this will last me a long time, and of course it didn't. I spent that in the first probably month of trying to get this thing off the ground. I came up with a prototype.
Let me see the prototype here.
This is actually the first.
This is the actual, what is this?
That's actually a fork, and I put Carbondo over, so I could actually sand it all down, get all the edges, and then basically I had to come up with something that could come close enough, and this is where I came up.
So this is the prototype. Think about, guys, here's how close millions of dollars away. This is basically just a fork. You can see a traditional fork, but put some extra
carb putty Bondo on it. Yeah, trying to just enough I could work with to model my own invention.
And this is so. I guess to me there are a bunch of lessons here. You can build simple stuff yourself, but it really comes back to if we just all watch what we're doing in life. So many people were using a fork as a knife. Let's turn a fork into a fork and a knife. And
when I researching the product, I took pictures of young people, kids, to my grandparents, to anybody trying to make how they cut.
Look at that thing, man.
And there's no serration, so it's perfectly safe. It will not cut you. It's got a finger platform, and all I'm doing is pressing straight down on it.
Look at this. I love this. Look at this.
Rocking right through it.
And you left med school, but that's another great lesson also, guys, man. You may be on that track. You already might be a lawyer. You might be a doctor. You might be selling insurance, man. We've always had those simple ideas, and you just go with them.
And sticking with it, trying to go out there and taking a chance. And that's the biggest thing. I had med school lined up. I was going to go be a doctor, make money. Took a different route.
You love it. I love it. Mike
what
Miller, the inventor of the Knork, he's on his way to millions, guys. You have those ideas. They may seem crazy to you, but they're simply after the fact. Why didn't I think of that? We got more of them because you're going to have one by the time this show's over. Don't go anywhere.